Welcome back. It's your boy Fresh.
And I'm Mary, and we are a Co-ople of nerds.
Welcome to the Sega Genesis, September 1989.
Genesis does.
The real gamers all have the same favorite console, the Sega Genesis. Is it a surprise? God loved Sega so much, he named the first book in the Bible Genesis.
Genesis.
16-bit sports action.
After all, the Genesis does what Nintendo don't.
Gotta go.
Hey guy, you're the first serious gamer I've seen all morning. Check this out. Brand new 16-bit Super Nintendo with Super Mario World. Wow!
What's this one?
Oh, this is a Sonic the Hedgehog from Sega Genesis.
In 2024, the Genesis turns 35 years old. Close your eyes and imagine yourself 35 years ago. Personally, I was swimming around in my dad's ball sack while Mary was wrapping up her sophomore year of college. Life was so much simpler back then. Don't you wish you could go back in time and relive those years?
Not here.
But this time, your parents are loaded, like crazy super rich. They decided rather than showing you love and affection, they will buy you each Sega game as it's released. That is a win-win for both parties.
Weird when they see you've got Stimpy's invention.
In this series, we will travel 35 years into the past each month, where we will collect, review, and rank every North American licensed Sega Genesis game ever made, except for Outback Joey.
Powdered toast, man.
F. Outback Joey.
To save himself, he launches a right hand to the kangaroo's snout.
And all of Australia, for that matter.
The Sega Genesis has blast processing. Super Nintendo doesn't.
We will be using the generally accepted list of games and their release dates. Did we get one wrong?
Shut up, nerd. Shut up, nerd.
Welcome to the Sega Genesis.
And what if you don't have blast processing?
So in September of 1989, on the 5th, Louder Than Love by Soundgarden was released. On the 10th, 5 days after hitting a home run for the Yankees in a 12-2 win over the Mariners, MLB and NFL player Deion Sanders returned a punt 68 yards for a touchdown, his first. I didn't know that he did both.
Yeah, he's a two-sport athlete.
That's
him
amazing.
and Bo Jackson.
He's amazing. And on the 15th, Sea of Love came out at the movie, and I guess it was #1 at the box office for a while. I haven't seen that one. And the 17th through the 21st, Hurricane Hugo swept through the Caribbean and the East Coast, killing a lot of people. You don't get a lot of those ones that sweep through the East Coast.
Yeah, it's mostly the South Florida and the Gulf of Mexico.
That's your natural disaster.
She picked natural disaster.
Well, you have to have some sort of natural event that you talk about, as well as the #1 movie, the #1 song, and sports.
Okay.
So, today we are going to be talking about World Championship Soccer, because that's apparently all that Sega released in September of 1989.
September of
it was
80.
a slow month.
September of '89 was not a big month. I mean, you have to think they just released 6 at launch, and so this is the follow-up month, and I guess they blew their wad, so to speak, the month earlier.
Well, they better catch up in October. So, World Championship Soccer, the European title is World Cup Italia 90. The Japanese title is World Cup Soccer. The Brazilian title is Super Football. Makes sense.
Which is weird because there's not football in it.
Oh. Hush. And it's developed and published by Sega. Director Matsuhiro Fuji?
I told you to practice your Japanese.
Yeah, well. The genre is sports and players 1 to 2.
So it is based on the 1990 FIFA World Cup. There are 24 national teams. But every player who scores a goal looks exactly the same with a different color shirt. Really, Sega? A bunch of white guys on the Japanese and Algerian teams? It's crazy to think West Germany was still a thing in 1990. The top-down view can lead to missing defenders and other teammates, but there is a small field map which can help. The game has wonky controls. The slide and shoot button are both the A button. So you will slide, steal the ball, and then shoot from clear across the other side of the field. You cannot change your player on the fly. The game will change your character automatically as you get closer to the ball. So one moment you'll be chasing down a player, then boom, it'll switch, and now all of a sudden you're running away as a defender, leaving a wide open lane. Passing in this game is incredibly difficult. It'll probably get stolen. It's a lot of hero ball. You build your team of players at the start with varying strengths and weaknesses, so you're kind of setting your lineups before each game. The game does have solid graphics and colors during the gameplay, but an unremarkable soundtrack and horrible speech samples. There is arcade action, so no rules or penalties, at least I didn't incur any. Being an elite athlete in America, I do not fully understand the rules of soccer, but I don't think slide tackles are legal, and this game is full of them. Every time I see a slide tackle nowadays, the player needs to be carted off the field on a stretcher.
Oh, I'm sure. Honey. I am so sure.
Alright, so I decided to rank this game as the 5th best Sega Genesis game of all time out of 7. So it slid in under Last Battle. I felt like they both had some gameplay issues.
Okay.
But Last Battle was a little more innovative. But ahead of Super Thunderblade, which also had gameplay issues, but was pretty standard.
And above Tommy Lasordo Baseball, which is last in line.
Tommy Lasorda is still last, and Altered Beast is still first.
Altered Beast, good game though.
That's right. Well, there you have it. We will see you in October. Bye-bye. Hey, Pumpkin.
Uh-huh.
Can you believe we've been married for 4 years?
Yeah. Married a long time.
You can sound more excited than that.
I am excited. I don't like getting old.